Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to prepare for SAT. We have been solving SAT math problems out of this book here, the official SAT study guide. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. You're going to need it. The problem that we are about to solve is the one that you will find on page number 717. Please turn to it. Page 717, and today is our lesson number 84. The first problem that we see in the first column there, let's see what we have. It says, in a rectangular coordinate system, the center of a circle has the coordinates of 5 and 12. So let's draw a circle, 5 and with the center with 5 and 12. Let's do a little bit better job than that. I'm not sure second time around it's going to come any better, but oh jeez. Not that it matters. The center is 5 and 12. Alright. Now based on that, based on the fact the center is 5 and 12, there is no way to figure out the radius of this circle, you understand? They have to give us something else, because that's what they're looking for. They're asking for what's the radius. So they must tell us something else, because in addition to just based on this information, simply knowing that it's centered at 5 and 12, how can we figure out the radius? It could be center of 5 and 12 with a very small radius, or it could be very large radius. Just because we know the center, we cannot figure out the radius. Let's see what else they tell us. And the circle touches the x-axis at one point only. There you go. It touches the x-axis. You see, if here's your y-axis, here's our y-axis, and we know it does not touch its y-axis, but we know that this distance, let's call it A to B, this distance is 5, because that's the x-coordinate. X-coordinate of the circle is 5. But we are also told now that it touches x-axis at exactly one point. When we are told that it touches x-axis, when a picture touches a line at just one point, that's another way of saying the same thing, is that the circle is tangent to x-axis. Now we know that this vertical distance, this is point B, we called it. This is point B, we're calling it. This vertical distance, now we know, is the vertical coordinates of the center, which is 12. Let's call it C. So B to C is 12, and that is the radius. As you can clearly see, this picture is not drawn to scale. It's not drawn to scale. So that's it. So now the fact that it touches x-axis at one point, so it looks something like this. Let's redraw it again. Did I just say that let's redraw it again? That's redundant, isn't it? Let's redraw it, or let's draw it again. So here's the center, and since this is the center, this distance, since it touches x-axis, this distance is the radius, and that we know is 12, because that's the y-coordinate of the center, and that's it. The radius is 12. Number 16. Number 16. If you're redoing something again, you'll be doing it for the third time, because you have already done it. You have already redone it once, and now you're redoing it again. They'll be doing it for the third time. That's not what I meant to say. The table above, number 16. The table above gives the voter registration data for the city of Bridgeton, I guess that's how it's pronounced, at the time of recent election. In the election, 40% of the voting age population actually voted. All right. So here's the guys, here's the girls, and here's the voting age population, which is 1,200 and 1,300, and here's the registered voter, and that we are told is 1,000 and 1,200. In other words, there are 1,300 female in this town who are eligible to vote. They are voting age female, 1,300 of them, but out of 1,300, only 1,200 actually bother to register. 100 are unregistered. Similarly, there are 1,200 guys, of which 200 did not bother to register at all to vote. Apparently the guys are more lazy than the girls. The question is, the 40% of voting age population actually voted. Alright, so voting age population is how much? Voting age population is 2,500. This is the voting age population. 40% of 2,500 is what we have to figure out. Well, that's very easy to figure out. That's very simple to figure out. We know that 10% of 2,500, if somebody were to ask us what is 10% of this figure, all we have to do is knock out a 0 and it will be 250. 10% of 2,000, 10% of 2,500 is simply taking 1/10 of it, and you simply knock out a 0. So that's the 10%. If 10% is 2,050, 40% would be 4 times the amount. 40%, 4 times 10 would be 250 times 4, which is 1,000. So now we know that 1,000 people, it says if 40% of the voting age population actually voted. The ratio that they're looking for, if the turnout of an election is defined to be, let's put this here. If the turnout is defined to be, this is their definition of turnout, is defined as the number who actually voted, which we know now is 1,000, because only 40%, unfortunately, only 40% of the voting age population bothered to vote, which is 1,000. So number of people who voted, number of people who actually voted, number of people who actually voted divided by number of registered voter. So number of people who actually voted is 1,000, and the registered voter, if you look at there, it says 1,000 registered voters for men, 1,200 for females, so it's 2,200. And since they're looking this as a percentage, no, they're not looking at the percentage. They're looking for the ratio. If the turnout of the election is defined to be the fraction, you see, that's it. We're done then. Knock out the 30, divide top and bottom by 100. It becomes 10 over 22. 10 over 22. If you were to divide top and bottom by 5 again, top and bottom by 2 again, it's just 5 over 11. And that's what we will grade in. That's it. Just leave it like that. 5 over 12 is exactly what you're going to grade in. 5 over 12. Just like this. They give you enough room there to grade in that much. So they give you 4 spaces or 5 spaces. Turn to page number 715. Turn to page number 715, and on top of it you will see the sample grading sheet, and you will see, sometimes it's my accent that does funny things, and you will see that they give you 4 spaces, and that's exactly 4 spaces. You see, 5 will take up 1 space, and the slash, and then 1, and then 2. Do you understand? If they're looking for a fraction, the questions are designed in such a way that the correct answer will always fit. If you come up with something weird, it doesn't fit, that means you have come up with the wrong answer. Do you understand? If your answer turns out to be 37 over 12, and they were looking for a fraction, and you come up with 37 over 12, something has gone wrong, because that's not enough. There aren't enough spaces to fill in 37/22, because that will require 5 spaces. The answer sheet only gives you 4 spaces. That's your cue that something has gone wrong. That's it. I'm done today with this particular problem. Tomorrow we'll do 17 and 18. I don't want to do them today right now because 17 and 18, they are hellish. So we'll deal with them tomorrow. Okay? Bye now.